All right. Welcome back. Welcome back to the crisis report, friends. Good to see you. Yes, we're kicking the mask. Let me get this thing kind of going. All right. We are going to get started here on Crisis Report. We are brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. If you are considering putting your IRA or 401k into gold and silver, this is the company to do it. That's why we partnered with them. So if you like what we are doing here, hopefully you'll hit that like button. Hopefully you will darken out the bell and get the notifications and yada yada to the yada. So let me get this going right there. All right. All right, friends, this one is called Teetering. Okay, so we're going to bust through this sucker. We're not going to get real long-winded. We appreciate you being here. It is showtime. That's right. We got the mask. We're going old school, as he used to do back in the day. And yeah, I need to put some writing right here, like, free speech or something. All right, friends, darken out that bell, get the notification. Maybe you want to become a member. A member is a great thing to do, like Water Tiger or Bad Bobber. Membership is a couple few bucks a month, depending on what you do. And that goes a long way. It really helps us. It keeps the lights on and makes it so my wife thinks it is worth my time to, be here. So, all right, let me get rolling. Let's do it. Italy's Navy will stop escorting the Gaza flotilla once it gets within 150 nautical miles of the shore to avoid a diplomatic incident with Israel. U.S. District Judge William Young rules that the Trump administration's efforts to deport non-citizens for protesting the war in Gaza is unconstitutional. Trump's executive order on pediatric cancer has unleashed AI to create a database of genetic information from children with cancer. AI czar David Sachs says, "We're going to get some miraculous cures out of this." Authorities have detonated a suspicious device at Utah State University ahead of a TPUSA event. U.S. Senate fails to pass a continuing resolution bill to fund the government. Shutdown has already occurred, so we are there. Do you like the glasses? Yes. White House Budget Office orders federal agencies to begin implementing shutdown plans. South Korean study of over 8.4 million people from the Korean National Health Insurance Database has found correlation of increased cancer risks with 1 year after the ouch, my arm. Erica Kirk, widow of Charlie Kirk and the newly appointed CEO of Turning Point USA, has been recognized by Time as one of the world's 100 most influential rising stars. U.S. government will most likely be shutting down, they already have. Reports of an explosion at Utah State University just hours after a Turning Point event, bomb threat investigation. Office of Management and Budget has directed federal agencies to begin carrying out their shutdown plans. Trump shares a photo of himself presenting Trump 2028 hats to Hakeem Jeffries and Chuck Schumer during their White House. He's such a troll. Flight radar shows several U.S. Air Force KC-135 refueling aircraft flown from Europe into the Middle East and the Persian Gulf. Flight radar shows that several England Air Force refueling aircraft arrived in Cyprus. Reports indicate that a Taliban official has reported that the internet blackout in Afghanistan is still continuing until further notice. Pentagon and U.S. defense company Raytheon signed a contract to supply Coyote counter drone systems. Contract valued of $5 billion is scheduled to be executed through 2023 or 2033. According to reports, the Pentagon is establishing a training center for special forces in Morocco. Turkish fishermen fishing off the coast of Trabzon province in the Black Sea spotted an unusual unmanned surface vessel, or USV, drifting in the water. They secured it to their boat and towed it to the shore near the village of Charshabashi, whatever that is. Then promptly alerted local authorities. Turkish law enforcement, including police and possibly naval units, responded quickly, securing the device and towing it to the port of Yoros for further examination. Preliminary assessments by the officials and media outlets indicate that the vessel is a Ukrainian-made Magura V5 drone, a type of explosive-laden unmanned boat designed for a maritime strike. If you find a drone like a USV, one of the in the water, don't touch it. Okay, don't touch it. It might explode. Russian media reports that Ukraine has caused about $100 billion in damage to Russia by attacking oil and gas industry stuff. Pete Hegseth, United States Secretary of War, in a speech today at Quantico military base in Virginia, explicitly told hundreds of U.S. generals and admirals we must prepare for war. Ukraine's defense minister announced that in the addition to receiving Mirage and Gripen fighter jets, Ukraine may receive more F-16s. Internet situation in Afghanistan hasn't changed and remains almost completely shut down nationwide. At Ben Gurion International Airport in Tel Aviv, Ukrainian Antonov AN-124 heavy transport aircraft observed being loaded with specific container. Similar containers have previously been seen during the transfer of air defense systems. So, because of internet shutdowns in Afghanistan, people in the border provinces are now using internet from neighboring countries. In Spin Boldak, Kandahar, dozens have rely on Pakistan's network to message relatives. It's bad. Russia's Medvedev responded to Trump about the nuclear submarine, saying, new episode of the thriller series Nuclear Subs for posts on X. Trump once again brought up the subs he allegedly sent to the Russian shores, insisting they are very well hidden. As the saying goes, it's hard to find a black cat in the dark room, especially if it's not there. Basically saying he doesn't think they're off the coast. LDS has launched a Give, Send, Go for Michigan LDS church shooter's widow. That's pretty amazing. I mean, the LDS church there is putting together a Give, Send, Go to help the wife of the guy that did the terrible deed. Trump says he will go after cartels in Venezuela by land. New war with Iran is increasingly likely. U.S. is sending massive numbers of fighter jets and aerial refueling tankers to the Middle East. Some of the tankers have already arrived at Al Udeid Air Base in Qatar. They were carrying fighter jets alongside them. Dozens of aerial refueling tankers and fighter jets are still parked at various RAF bases throughout the United Kingdom, waiting for deployment to the Middle East against Iran. A little itch. Houthis announced that they will target major U.S. Oil exporters, effectively ending earlier agreed on truce between the two countries. That's not good. It's not good. Newly released document shows that the Israeli government is compensating social media influencers between $6,100 and $7,300 per post. That is not me. If I make that in a year, I'm happy. Gaza flotilla led by Greta is set to reach Israel on Yom Kippur, holiest of the Jewish calendar, a day when Jewish people unplug, a day of fasting, prayer, and reflection. That's the day they chose to sail against the, air quotes, Zionist blockade. Irony is chilling. Hamas launched its October 7th massacre on Simchat Torah, another holy day when we celebrate the giving of the Torah, the Bible itself. Flotilla isn't just politics. It's not only about upending Western civilization, it's an attack on our value system, on our spirituality, dark forces, dark forces. Israeli political source says the plan presented by President Trump is non-negotiable, yes or no. American administration also signals maybe ready for some minimal negotiation, but certainly not for a long negotiation. On the other hand, Qatar and Hamas say tonight that this plan is actually a starting position. Dozens of U.S. military fighter jets, along with a large number of tanker planes, have arrived at the largest American airbase in the Middle East in Qatar. Qatari Prime Minister Al Thani is walking back on his endorsement of Trump's peace plan. He now says that the plan is in the early stages and needs development. Trump gave Hamas 3 to 4 days to accept. U.S. carrier USS Gerald Ford is on its way towards the Strait of Gibraltar. From there, it is expected to enter into the Middle East. Magnitude 6.0 earthquake hits off Indonesia's Java Island. Aerial refueling tankers that entered Europe from the United States in the past 2 days are now on their way to the Middle East. About a dozen U.S. Air Force KC-135 Stratotankers and other aerial refuelers were transferred from the U.S. mainland to bases in Europe over the past 48 hours. New reports to police about the drone near Brønnøysund Airport in Norway. The drones were reportedly visible from the airport tower. New reports to police about drones near Brønnøysund Airport in Norway. Drones were reportedly at the airport tower. That's a doubler. Dominican Republic announced that it will not invite dictatorships of Venezuela, Cuba, Nicaragua, and upcoming summit of the Americas in Santo Domingo. Swedish police say it's responded to a reported drone sighting near Ronneby Airport around 2100. Flight from Arlanda briefly diverted toward Kalmar, but later landed safely in Ronneby. Authorities stress the drone sighting is unconfirmed. Last departure was 1947 time. Last arrived at 2232 local. Pentagon says that United States troops will remain stationed in Iraq, including in Baghdad, but will be scaled back from 2,500 troops to around fewer than 2,000. Most of the troops will be stationed in Erbil, Iraqi Kurdistan. And Telegram founder Pavel Durov says that Bitcoin is going to reach $1 million. If you think that Bitcoin is going to reach $1 million, put a 1 in. If you think that's too overblown, this whole thing is just to set up a command and control structure of our finances so we can't do anything or buy anything or be free, put a 2 in. That's where I'm at. It's funny. We don't want CBDCs, but the Bitcoin is promoted heavily. So, what do you guys think? Yeah, 2. Crazy. All right, friends, that is your crisis report. September 30th, 2025. Welcome to Rocktober, y'all. Yeah, Rocktober it is. Hopefully, you guys are having a good day, good Tuesday. Hit that like button, do the subscribe thing, darken out the bell if you like what we're doing here. I'm going to be rolling mask style from here, baby. All right? I'll be like Abu Obaida, the finger. You will listen to crisis report. You like. All right, friends. God bless you all. We appreciate you, and we will see you on the next one. We are brought to you by Augusta Precious Metals. We are, well, there's a whole partnership area in the front. Maybe you want to become one of the cool kids like John Evans or Blue Cord Devil or Bad Bobber or Howard Clegg and join us here. Join us. Achieve your destiny as a member of PrepperNow and Crisis Report. We will together go through intel, and you will know things that you are not supposed to know, and you will know them 12 to 24 hours before all the normies. Yes. Join us. Be the resistance. Stack stock, stick to the plan, and keep your head on a swivel and your powder dry. And thank you for coming by the Crisis Report from PrepperNow. Have a good day.